Good morning, students. We'll continue our political science lesson 2, that is federalism. We saw that what is federalism, what was the feature of federalism. Now, today we'll read what are the two types of federalism. There are two types of federalism. One is coming together federalism, and the second one is holding together federalism. Coming together federalism is nothing but in this, what happens, the independent states, they come together, they are the large and big independent states, they come together to form a union under a nation. This is because of fear that they may lose their sovereignty or they may lose their independence, so that they come together and form a union. Such type of federalism is known as coming together federation. The examples of this is USA, Switzerland, Australia. You know very well that there are various states, big states in USA. They all have come together to form a union. Similarly, Switzerland was also a kingdom of large states. They came together and formed a country. Australia is also a continent as well as a country. They have various larger states. They all have come together to form a country. Now, here what happens? The division of the power between the state and these countries are same. All the states are strong, they are having equal power. Now, second one is, that is holding together federation. The second route is where a large country decide to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government. That is, in the second form, that is holding together federation, the entire country is divided into two groups, that is states and the central government, where the central government is having the main power in his hands. Example is Spain, India, Belgium. For example, you take our country, India. In our country, we have at present 28 states. Now, all these states are having equal powers, and the main power lies in the hands of the central government. Means central government is having the powers to take the major decisions regarding the nation. Now, what makes India federalism? How can we say that India is a federal country? What are the various uh, principles which makes India a federal country? The constitution originally provided our country as a two-tier form of government. Now, one was central government and another was the state government. But later, a third tier was also added, that was known as Panchayati Raj and municipalities. Now, all these three different levels of government, different tiers of government enjoys separate jurisdiction and function. They have their own powers, functions and responsibilities. Now, the entire country, our entire country India, is divided into three subjects, that is union list, state list and concurrent list. Now let us read about each in detail. First is union list. It includes the subjects of national importance such as defense of the country, foreign affairs, banking, communication and currency. They are included in this list because we need a uniform policy for entire nation, and the union government has sole responsibility to take any decision on these subject matters. For example, we have defense at the national level, but we don't have defense every state level. We have currency for entire country, uniform currency, but we don't have independent or separate currency for each and every state. Okay, because our constitution, there is only one constitution, one nation, one citizenship. Wherever we be the citizenship of India. Next, second one is state list. It contains the subject of state and local importance such as police, trade, commerce, agriculture, irrigation. You know, in this, the government alone make laws relating to the subjects which are mentioned in the state list. Union government or the central government cannot interfere in these matters. The state is independent to take its own decisions based on its policy, the trade in the state, the commerce of the state, agriculture, planning, implementation, and regarding irrigation. That's why every state has their own police force. Next one, third one is concurrent list. Concurrent list is the list which is divided between both central government and the state government. The subjects which are included in concurrent list are enjoyed, shared by both the government, central and the state government. Now, what are the lists which are included in this? They are like education, forest, trade unions, marriages, adaptation, and succession. These are the various subjects which are included in the concurrent list. Now, these were divided in our country. These subjects were made, or the country was divided in these subjects long back, before the computer age existed in our country. Now, afterwards, various subjects like computer, software, and various many things has come up. Now, where are these added? In which group these comes? According to our constitution, the union government has the power to legislate on these subjects, and these subjects are comes under residuary subjects. The subjects which are not including in any of the three category, that is union list, subject list, and the concurrent list, comes under residuary subject, and union government has the power over it. But all the states in India or the Indian Union do not enjoy the same power. Some states enjoy some special powers, like Jammu and Kashmir had its own constitution earlier, not present, not today. Before the Article 370 was removed or amended, Jammu and Kashmir state has its own constitution. Many provisions of the Indian government or the Indian constitution were not applicable to this state without the approval of the State Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, Indians who were not the permanent residents of Jammu and Kashmir states cannot buy land or house there. So, they like this various special privileges, powers were given to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, but after the amendment of Article 370, Jammu and Kashmir became a union territory, and the Constitution of India now is applicable in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. There are some units of Indian government which do enjoy very little power. These are so because they may be small in area, they cannot be formed as a state, or they may not feel to join or merge in any state of India. So these areas were termed as a union territories, and these all are governed by or ruled by the central government. Examples of such are like Chandigarh, Delhi, Lakshadweep, Andaman Nicobar Island, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu. These are Pondicherry. These are the various areas. At present, we have almost 9 union territories in India after the formation of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Ladakh is a union territory. Its capital is Leh. Jammu and Kashmir is a union territory, and its capital is same as it was a state like Jammu in winter and Srinagar in summer. Now, the sharing of power between these union government and the state government is based to the structure of the constitution. No one can make their own rule as it they like. It has to be framed through the constitution. It is not easy to make changes to the power sharing arrangement. It is not that anyone can come to the power in the central government and can make changes. The parliament cannot on its own change this agreement. Any changes to it, that is to parliament, has to be first passed by both the houses of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. It has to be passed in both the houses of the Lok Sabha at least by 2/3 majority. After passing 2/3 majority, then it has to be ratified by the legislatures of at least half of the total states. Means half of the states of India has also accept these changes which is made in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. That is, suppose just now in our country the amendments, certain amendments took place, like Article 370, one of the major amendment which was made in our the Lok Sabha or in our constitution, you can say. It was passed in both the houses of the parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Apart from that, it has to be passed even in the half of the state of the country. That, for example, if you take 28 states are there in India, so minimum 14 to 15 states has to pass, then only it will be implemented. Next, the judiciary plays an important role in overseeing the implementation of the constitutional provisions and procedures. Whatever procedures, implementation, changes is being taken in the country is very carefully observed and watched by the Indian judiciary, that is Supreme Court or the High Court. In case of any disputes between or over the division of power, the High Court and the Supreme Court has the power to make a decision. They have a right to make the decision. So student, I hope so you understood very well, that is what makes India a federalism, or why we do call India as a federal country. That's all for today. We'll continue to